Oh, that sounds so good.
This is so tasty. It's very crispy. Cabebano. Guys, can you see? This is live in the morning. What we are making is a very simple breakfast, and here I have my wheat bread and some eggs, fresh tomatoes, some cucumbers and some sardines. Here is my butter, guys, and so I'll be showing you two methods of preparing this recipe. So I'll be using the toasted bread method, which I'll be using my toasting machine to prepare. And then for those of you who don't have toaster, I will show you another way you can use your frying pan to prepare. Let's just get started right away. It's a very simple recipe, very simple and very easy. In less than 5 minutes your breakfast is ready. So here is my wheat bread. You can use any bread of your choice. So this wheat bread is very rich, especially if you're watching your weight. This is what I recommend you should use instead of the white bread. But you can also use the white bread. In fact, use any bread of your choice. So what we are going to do now is to cream some butter on top of the surface of the bread. I'll just set some of these items out of the surface and then place my bread here. You don't need to do too much. All we are going to do is to keep the recipe as simple as possible. So I'll just cream my butter on top of the bread. Just a little bit of butter. The bread is a little bit dry, that is why I'm creaming some butter. If you don't want to do that, you can leave it. You can also use the sardine oil if you prefer, but for now I don't want to use the oil. So we are going to do the toasted bread first. The one we'll be toasting with the machine. So what I'm doing here is to break the sardines into little crumbs. So you see how the sardine is looking. Now I'm going to apply it on top of the bread. I will only apply the sardines on only 2 breads. I'll be using the cucumber, tomatoes and egg for another slice. You see how it's looking? Yes, it's as simple as that. So we are going to cover this just like so, and then keep it in my plate and do the same thing on the second slice of bread. So now that we've covered the bread, we are going to leave it like this. For these slices here, we are going to use another approach to prepare it. So guys, what we are going to do right now is to toast the bread, and here I have my toaster already preheating and my breads are ready. So what I'm going to do now is to cream some butter at the surface of the toasting machine. So I'll just dab some butter on it and then spread it on the toaster. The butter is going to help the surface of your toast to appear, very beautiful, and also it's going to infuse flavors into your toast. So what I'll do is to close the toasting machine. So guys, because the toasting machine is already hot, it's not going to take a very long time to toast the bread. So after about 30 to 50 seconds, I'm going to flip the bread around. Another 40 seconds later and the toast is ready. The reason why I'm making this for 40 seconds to, let's say, 60 seconds, that is 1 minute, is because the toaster was already preheated, so it wouldn't take so long to toast your bread. So now I'm going to set the toast out of the toasting machine. So this is what you will continue doing until you have toasted all bread, and this is the appearance of the toast. I hope you can see how beautiful it looks. Very crispy and beautiful. If you want your appearance to be darker, you have to toast for, you know, longer period of time, but I just want it to be a little bit crispy and not too dry. Now I'm going to show you how we'll prepare the second method of preparation. What I'm going to do now is to brush the surface of the frying pan with some butter. This is very, very important. So my frying pan is properly heated. I'm going to transfer the slices of bread. I'm going to place it, you know, this way inside the frying pan. I'll just add 2 breads at a time. So we are going to allow it to toast for some few seconds. Just keep your eyes on it. I'm going to repeat the same procedure at the back of the breads. Once again, I'm going to flip it. For this one, I'm not going to toast it for a long time because this is the one we are going to use to cover the toast. So I wouldn't want it to be too brown in nature. So I want it to be a little bit light in appearance. And this area, I am not going to toast here at all because this is where we are going to layer in our vegetables. You can see the butter is melting. Yes, I want the internal part of the bread to be soft, so that is why we are not going to toast this aspect of the bread. So I'm going to flip it and see how it's looking. Okay, so I will let it stay for some few seconds. To set the breads out. Yes, I'm comfortable with the appearance. Look at how it's looking. Yes, properly toasted. So I'm going to set them out immediately. So this is how the bread is looking. You see? So here you get to see that these ones are properly toasted, very browned and beautiful. Guys, if you eat this bread, you will know how delicious it is. And so what we are going to do now is to layer in the vegetables, and here is my cucumber which I have shown you earlier on. So you just layer in some vegetables on top of the bread. Layer in some cucumbers as much as you want or as much as you prefer. I love some vegetables accompanying my bread. For a healthier morning breakfast recipe, you can go for this. And if you're watching your weight, this is one of the best approaches you should use for your breakfast recipe. If you love some tomatoes like I do, you can just toss in some tomatoes. I'm going to toss in some of the eggs on top of this. And finally, what we are going to do is to cover the breads. So this is how we are going to pair it up this morning. Thank you so much for joining me in today's episode, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh, no, it sounds so good.
Wait. Guys, it's so tasty. It's very crispy. Cabebano. Guys, can you see? This is live in the morning.
You can't push it.